everybody, this is Natalie Griffin and happy spring. I'm sitting here on this rainy day and I just wanted to share some ideas with you. A couple weeks ago, I was sitting around with my friend Holly Wheeler and Juan Carlos de la Cruz, and we were talking about the masculine and the feminine and how they create alone, how they create together, how these two energies that live inside of us really help us to manifest what we want. And so what I'm about to share with you was inspired by this conversation with these two beautiful souls. When Holly and I were talking, we were talking about how the feminine creates so differently from the masculine energies that live inside of us, where the masculine energies are very linear and cause, effect, strategic, plan, step by step by step. The feminine is a different creation process, and I'm trusting that you all are pretty familiar with the planning processes of creating a vision, creating goals, and creating the step-by-step actions that get you there. And that's what we were talking about would be the more masculine way to go about planning. And there are times in life where that is the absolute best way to go. Often, what I find to be true is that we need to access the feminine energy that lives inside of us to really create and birth those huge visions that we're daring to dream of, that are a little bit scary for us. And I like to call this process throwing bones. So sometimes, and I know this is happening for many of you, you'll get an intuitive hit or maybe have a precognitive dream and you're trying to make sense of what does this mean for me? Do I have to write the book? Is this man that I dreamt of the one that I'm in love with? What's happening? What are all the symbols occurring mean to me? And they're creating emotion inside of you that is making a connection to your soul. So for the feminine process, what I like to think of is to think of the emotion that you're yearning for. Think of the emotion that you're having as you have these dreams and visions that you like and want more of. And I imagine balling all of that energy up right out of my heart and throwing bones out into the future. I always imagine these big, like huge femur bones, like dinosaur bones, landing in the timeline in the future time and space, where that idea and feeling will be most supported. So I don't know where that is all the time. I'll just launch it out there and trust spirit to help that land where it needs to land so that it can be nurtured and come to full fruition at that time. So after the bones have been thrown, then becomes the birthing process. And I always think of this process as a birth, death, rebirth, really rapid fire. So, the idea comes out, boom, and it's just messy and covered in goo and you can't quite see the face. So you have to clean up the idea and prop it back up. Eventually that idea gets some legs. And it's like, wow, running around getting into all kinds of trouble. And so you have to teach it and coax it and spend time with it. Building your ideas is a lot like rearing children. It's a lot like giving birth to something that's alive. And when you build things from your heart, that beating heart, that passion, that truth that lives there, from the emotional power that we have, those visions and dreams pack a lot of punch. And they're always in alignment with your soul, not the mind necessarily. Now, the greatest marriage is when we can bring into union what the heart is yearning to create, what the soul's purpose is yearning to express, and then the masculine energies of giving that structure so that it can walk and thrive in this physical reality. So I just wanted to share this concept of throwing bones. So if you have ideas, gather up the emotional power of those ideas and launch them into the future. Throw the bones out there and trust that they are setting energetic anchor points that will begin pulling you towards them. The second step would be then to come all the way back into this time and space and say, okay, what is the messy, imperfect, bloody step one that I'm going to give birth to? And it's going to be weird and imperfect, and I'm going to clean it up and learn from it and keep going and keep going. Keep nurturing those ideas. Sometimes when we see the imperfect ideas that are born out of us, we get distracted and discouraged by the imperfection. And I want to say, if this dream is coming from here, this place of power, that beating drum of your heart, it's worth dusting off and propping back up. Nobody learns to walk the first time. So stay true to those beliefs, those ideas that you have in your heart, and let them come to fruition this year. All right, my loves, have a beautiful day. And if you haven't checked out Vastu Tribe, it's one of my favorite yoga places. These beautiful women are amazing. So check that out. They're doing some beautiful work in the world. So thanks a lot, ladies. Bye-bye.